Okay. Damn, we're in double overtime now. But let's continue on into the trial. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution's as confused as we are. That's what it sounds like. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. That's true. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. Yeah, we didn't get to talk to you at all. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? It says Mr. Wright suspects the police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. You what? A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed if I told them the truth behind the simultaneous murder, they wouldn't see capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. Wait, so you're still gonna plead guilty? But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Skye. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Okay. This whole case is one hot mess, though. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? It shouldn't be. So how did our culprit make the impossible possible? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. So it sounds like the body was moved from the evidence room to the prosecutor's office. The question is how and what made them think he was killed at the evidence room. Wow, this is one messed up trial, to say the least. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I'll present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we shall proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. Yeah, the way I hear you keep talking about Edgeworth, I'm sure you'd like him on top. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. Oh, Meekins? The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Oh yeah, this guy again. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. For frickin' real, you're gonna... Right off the bat. Yeah, my face right now. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. What? I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You gotta believe me, sir. No one has taken that mic away from him yet. Actually, we'd like to hear from you. Sir, I'm what you call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. I don't know if that's what I'd call it. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen rush into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. Okay, that was vague as all hell. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. That is what he claimed happened. He said he brandished a knife at him, and then he just blacked out from there. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes. Now there's a scary thought. No kidding. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot, created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. That thing... Why does that thing keep coming up? Don't tell me that's gonna be important. I was soon sure it wasn't broken during the transfer process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the awards ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. Yeah, I tried to ask him about that before and I couldn't get anything out of him. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? Is it? There it is, I found it! This is the one right here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 498-9596. That's my number, sir. I see. Huh. But the number 498-9596 is shown as being used twice. Yeah, that's the one I noticed. So that's it. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Okay, I want to take a closer look at this. This is all going to be important. I just know it. Okay. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, this is Meekins then. Okay, he said Edgeworth came in at 440. Meekins went in to put the Blue Badger in at 450. About almost 20 minutes later was when Goodman came in, and then Meekins went in again. Okay. First time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room, and the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen. Okay, now it was updated. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with him charging in on me like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You're not exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's why I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Oh, is that it? Maybe you just kept your cool. Your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life. Then I did it! What exactly do you mean by when you say you did it? I don't know. I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. Oh, really? Oh, really? I know kung fu. Really? Is that your... Yeah. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. You closed your eye. Oh my god, this guy. I see. He must have been desperate. Next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then... The next thing I knew... Yes, that face palm emoji. Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir! After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious! Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. So about 15 minutes he was out. He hit me right in the head, too! I woke up crying tears of pain! That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. Nice Freudian slip there. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. What mission? Your mission? Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, thank God we couldn't let anything happen to the Blue frickin' Badger. Well, we can all yes, we can all rest easy now. I believe we have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yeah, again, 2 different places. Yes, Officer Meekins. With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. What? The chief delivered it? What is that? A videotape? One of those old fangled VHS tapes at that. Yes, sir. It's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. Contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. Yes, that was what I was hoping to see. Objection! What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. And I was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. No shit. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department's as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word, murder, sir. It scares me. Oh boy. How did this guy get on the police force? How and how much money was involved? A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Huh? Oh, that blue fucking badger again. What the hell is... What the hell? Okay. Okay, that must be Goodman. He's going into the... That was him entering the evidence room. He's going into his locker. I think I saw something fall out. Okay, there's Meekins. He's going in. And, huh? Okay, there's Meekins. Where did the... Where'd Goodman go? That is all kinds of strange. Not quite. Did not quite do the Blue Badger dance. Edgeworth doesn't know what to make of it either. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? The hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Oh man, Edgeworth's... Is that his first... Oh, is that his first time seeing the Blue Badger? Sir, that's the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Do any cases in this series go smoothly? Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove the witness did indeed encounter, someone. There is another thing about... There is something about that guy. Someone in the evidence room. We didn't see his face. His face was always obscured. Your Honor, instead of relying clearly on incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. Okay, here we go. His face can't clearly be seen in the video. Yeah, I noticed that too. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. That is also true. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. Those locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife? Sir, if you must label people as having been seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter. The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you're the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I'll bet my badge on it. I'm holding you to that. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face cannot be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Well, why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins! Have you been shown a questionable video at best? We are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claim the man who brandished a knife on you is Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you're positive it was him. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. About those lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir, I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. Oh, you did, huh? They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. Wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprint, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir. And this, too. Goodman's locker. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir. From people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. Those poor people. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. No one else could have unlocked it. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you're the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? No, we're gonna examine the hell out of this. Regarding the video contained in this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. Okay, here we go. He would want me to point it out. Like everything, yes. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Thank you. I've been asking that same question for a while now. Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where's the contradiction that indicates the man may not have been Detective Goodman? Okay, there's... Okay, that was where it looked like he came at him with the knife. There's a struggle. Oh! Is that it? Is that a blood stain on his jacket? Wait, I don't know if... Okay, and then there's Meekins unconscious. Goodman is nowhere to be found. There it is! Yes! You're right, Ragnats. Now the cloth is in the... Now it's in the locker. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Yes, that is strange. Something certain. What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point? What you're looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman. Oh, yeah. Ooh. I almost walked right into the defense's trap. I'll place him under arrest, sir. Rats, I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. Now, what do I do? Very well. Let's try this again. Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt. Says the one pointing his finger at us. Shows the contradiction. Okay, is it that? That blood stain that suddenly appeared. The thing that's strange about the video would have to be, this. Hold on a second, I need to use my eye drops. Well, I don't get it. Would you mind if I borrowed your eye medicine? Don't look at me with those blurry eyes. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this through again, Now what do I do? Damn it, that's not it? Very well, let's try this again. Yeah. There! Is that it? The glove! That glove that fell out of the locker?
Take that! Objection!
Okay, no, that wasn't it either? Oh, wait! The light is already on. Does that mean the locker was already open?
Take that!
Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on, the lock is released. Oh, by the way, this is Gumshoe's locker, right? The picture there inside, that's a call forward to the second game. I won't say anything more, but yeah, that person there, I think I recognize her. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something's seriously wrong with this picture. Right, all the other lights are off, except for Goodman's. The light's on. So it was already unlocked. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. As we continue to listen to this goddamn Blue Badger music. Yeah, it's... Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit? Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor's triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have been broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. Obviously. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. Indeed. So then, Mr. Wright, you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system's sensor? Something jammed the sensor? Say, oh, the glove! The glove that fell out. There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. Oh boy. The locker wasn't locked. Oh, okay. Okay, but yeah, I know what you're talking about now. There it is.
Take that!
Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Thank you for at least muting that goddamn music. Yeah. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great What? Okay, we didn't need to hear that. We can't be sure the item was completely inside the locker to begin with. It was holding it open, wasn't it? What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. Just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Really? Like, why am I not surprised at this point? Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, but it would also have to block electrical circuits, electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator, like a rubber surgical glove. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well, will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What is this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? There we go.
Take that!
I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. Oh, but it has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? It appears so, sir. Order, order, order! So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Objection!
Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. But again comes the issue of why didn't he just show it to Meekins when he asked for it? An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? I'm also wondering that 777-7777 that came in. That person's still unaccounted for. This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now, let us move on to the cross-examination. Okay. So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd give the V for victory sign, sir. Couldn't he just use his right hand for that? Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. The evidence room must use their ID card. Is that card hanging from your neck one of those ID cards? Yes, sir. The card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Yeah. Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Good God. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. There's used as a record of it. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. Yeah? So it is, Your Honor. Right. Not that prosecutor again. Maybe he's behind all this. Mommy, is that man Blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him. You've got the wrong color, kid. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. Oh, shit. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or the consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, it must be so difficult for him. The the time of the crime, the detective used his card.
Hold it!
Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked. Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with his ID card testimony so far is too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show him what we got. Am I thinking too hard about it? Oh wait, no, I didn't mean to present. Shit. Damn it, I didn't... I wanted to examine it, not present it. Right, he lost his ID.
Objection!
Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Yeah, how did it end up there? Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report? It's only half completed. Yeah, you're right there. That was what I was looking at too. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? Can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. That's why he couldn't show his ID. Order! Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Did he already know this? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room, Officer Meekins, encountered... The man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is, well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to point your finger around. This isn't gonna end well. Well, well. Seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. Oh, were you going for this the whole time? The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, the trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this? What can I do? Should I object?
Objection!
One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? The cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Are you going to show that? I think so. However, it cannot be said that it's unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor? The defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Who do you have in mind? Suppose we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. The person whom you will have testify, what is his or her name?
Take that!
Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well, the court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Alright. Oh, man. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright's trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Help not interrupt anything, pals. You kinda were, Dick. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Oh, wait, what? Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run around all on duty. Top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey! Hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay, so, have you brought what I asked? Oh, she asked him to bring it. Oh! You mean this, right? What is it? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. Can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, or a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Files for the Joe Dart killings. Solved 2 years ago. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? I brought your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? What? My name's in here? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as... the Joe Dart killings. What is this all of a sudden? The Joe Dart... No. No, Lana! It's over with! No! Emma, wait! She ran away. Why did she react like that? Oh, man. What is this? You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Oh, now he's booking it, too. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to these killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at this file. Oh, damn. Okay. Man. Still, another big mouthful for us, but you know, sorry, I have been streaming this for well over 6 hours. I think I'm ready to call it a night. I hope to come back to this very soon, but for now, I hope you all enjoyed. Have a good night, everybody.